Well, pleasure to chat with you again, Clay. How's everything been going with you since, we last spoke with during the podcast?
Everything's going good. I just been getting ready for this next opponent. Yeah, I'm excited to get back in the ring again so quick after my last fight too.
Yeah, and as well, you're taking on Ljae Simminz, like a guy with a lot of experience here that's been very active and is an undefeated fighter as well.
Yeah, he's got some experience. I mean, not to brag, but I've been wrestling for 15 years. I think I've had more amateur fights than him too. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but and I am one pro fight more than him. So I think from an experience standpoint, as far as like competing and uh, you know being under the spotlight and being controlled and stuff, I definitely have the. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
I think I definitely have the advantage when it comes into you know just experience and competition.
Is there anything that you've seen from LJ that has impressed you in some of his tape?
He's athletic, uh, and I think he knows he's athletic, and he's probably in a room full of people who are not as athletic as him. So I think it might be a rude awakening when he figures out that I'm athletic as well. He's and I've been in a rooms full of athletic people for my entire fight career. So, and I've been a standout athletically and strength conditioning, all those regards. He is very unpredictable with his striking, so I am going to have to watch out for that. But yeah, there's you know he's definitely impressed me with his athleticism. Doesn't seem to last super long, and he's a little bit unpredictable. So that's what I'm thinking about going into this fight.
Is this a fight where you kind of want to showcase your striking again because you are coming off a first round finish, your first finish as a professional, or you kind of want to mix it up and just continue the evolution of you as a mixed martial artist?
If push comes to shove, I will be able to strike with him. I think I'm got a lot more control in my striking than he does. Uh, but I think I'd like to grapple a little bit. I haven't done that in a while. I just got a TKO, so might as well try to go for the sub. I haven't had a submission yet in my professional career, so I, uh, I'm kind of like leaning that way. I'd like to get a submission in this fight, but I'm going to take whatever path to victory shows up. So
And as well, of course, Clay, obviously this is the last show of the year for BTC, but it's in Niagara Falls, a region that means a lot to you. You wrestled there at university at Brock. Once again, third show for BTC in the region. How important for you is it to have a great performance in this area, where especially where you train as well?
yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to impress all of my friends. That's what I'm going for. Like, it's gonna be great being at home, cutting weight here. It's been an easy weight cut so far. Like, I could make weight tomorrow if I really needed to. So that on top of like being able to do it at home is fantastic. Um, I'm super healthy right now. And yeah, it's just all that much more sweeter when you have all of your friends and family and teammates in the crowd there supporting you. And it's going to be awesome to celebrate after at Boston Pizza too. They're having the
Yeah,
after party at Boston.
yeah,
We talked about that in the
yeah,
podcast,
we
right?
did.
So maybe I go to the Boston Pizza party there, and the CEO of Boston Pizza wants to sponsor me. Who knows?
How your last one you got to be main event, you know what I mean? So how first of all, did you like that? And do you think that'll help you, have an eye, all eyes on you as the main event this early in your career?
It was cool to be in the main event, but I did not like that. But,
No?
and it's not for the reason you would think. It's just like I finished my fight and everybody was gone. I was like, what the hell, man? I like to like go out into the crowd and like schmooze and be a ham after my fight, be like, yeah, I just won my fight, guys. What's up? And then There's nobody there. Even my coach, I was like doing the post fight interview with the girl that does the post fight interviews. I can't remember.
Naomi.
Naomi.
Naomi, that's right. Yeah, I was doing the interview, and then like Prickett walks by, and he's like, "All right, see you later, Clay." And I'm like, I didn't even get to talk to you. So, but like being a main event for sure. I think that was definitely a great experience being the last fight of the night. I had, sitting with your energy all day, like sitting with those nerves all day, right up until the very end, watching all of your teammates go out and have stunning victories, and then you're like, all right, my turn. Like I think every single one of our guys that night had a finish. Um, First round finish. I think one of the fights was just second round finish, and then my fight, I was like, got to get the first round finish. Like, if I don't get the first round finish and I'm the main event, what are we doing here? So
What would be your preference? For me, it's I always say if I'm not main event, I want to be first fight of the night. What do
yeah.
you like?
Oh yeah, first fight of the night, so I can
Yeah,
get hammered with my friends afterward,
right on.
eat some pizza.
For sure, man.
So you're trying to stick with the bear more so than pizza pie, Clay.
Well, like pizza pie just isn't very intimidating in the ring. I'll keep pizza pie for like, my maybe like my pro wrestling career that we were talking about might explode. I'll be like that. Have you seen that guy who has like the pizza and like slaps
Yes,
with it?
yes.
Pizza dough? I've set me up against that guy. I'll just eat it.
Well, last thing for me, Clay. Obviously, you see yourself winning this fight, but what's your path to victory?
Like I said, I'd like to probably get into some grappling exchanges, get a submission, but I'm not ruling out the hands. I mean, I've got paws over here. Everybody's got the right to bear arms, so come get. You know what I'm saying?
We'll end it with that. Thanks so much, Clay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, pleasure to meet you, LJ. Been a big fan of what you've done throughout the amateur days and now turning pro, where you've gone 2-0. Um, for anyone that hasn't seen you fight, LJ, I guess describe your fighting style.
Honestly, man, it's a little bit intricate, you know. I kind of go everywhere. I have really, really intense striking. And to what a lot of people have referred to as unorthodox, but this is my actual, real martial arts style that I've learned, such as karate being the base of it. And then Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, ninjutsu, judo as well. So these are all, real martial arts that I've known that I've been able to construct into a full blown style. So, my style is a little bit. I would say at the very most, it's entertaining for sure. Like I do a lot of things that and typical fighters don't use, but I guess you can say to an extent it does look flashy, but I do work on it extensively, and my timing is pretty key. So. It just a run of the mill. I'm just a very entertaining, but also very experienced as well as technical fighter.
Yeah, just looking at your record, you had a lengthy amateur career, and this is going to be your fourth fight this year from wrapping up amateur and then the two pro fights. I mean, does that give you a lot of confidence going into this fight against Clay, fighting a fighter of his caliber in his hometown?
Yeah, actually, man, more probably like around 7 fights to be honest, man. I've actually done a few kickboxing fights as well this
Okay.
year, so I'm incredibly active, So I would say all of it definitely goes into my upcoming fight with him. I think that, just based on experience wise, I think I have a lot, to show for it. I'll have a lot, coming in with this, a lot that anyone have to worry about. So definitely, definitely. I think that's gonna be a lot to deal with for sure.
Where are you training with LJ?
So my main gym is Legends, based out here in Brampton, but I also train out of Battle Arts as well, and then I also train out of 10th Planet.
Okay, so you're definitely getting a mishmash of everything to encompass into
Yeah,
one.
definitely, most definitely.
So what do you know about your opponent in Clay, LJ?
I know that he was a previous wrestler. I know that he was a wrestler turned MMA fighter, I believe, and his base is wrestling. So I think that's dope. I mean, like I also have a wrestling base as well. So I think that's with his matchup, I think it's gonna match up really well. From what I've seen, I think that his striking's improved. I've got to see a couple of his fights now, so it looks like his striking has improved also. But I definitely do think that he's probably, more so going to rely on what he knows, which is his wrestling. Obviously, I'm going to assume that his grappling's also improved as well. But that's probably the gist of what I know about him.
Nice. And as well, do you kind of like that you're going into his hometown looking to spoil it for his friends and family?
Kind of, sort of. Like I've been in the hot seat before. I've been out of my own element. I've been in my opponent's territory where essentially the whole crowd is for them, and so it's nothing that's I'm not used to. I think for me, like I know that I'm always gonna put my training back into play, and I know that I've been working really hard for this. So it all kind of just like it, none of that's really gonna matter when we're actually inside and we're doing our thing. So I think that's the main thing. Just taking away that I know that I've trained incredibly hard for this, and that it doesn't matter. We could be fighting on the moon. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter where. So I think that's the main takeaway from this.
As well, just checking out your Instagram, LJ. You make a lot of music. Any similarities between the music world and the combat sports world, especially at the level you're at, where I guess the grind for both is important to try to take it to the next level?
Definitely, man, definitely. Low key, I've been on kind of like a hiatus, but I've still been writing. I've still been, been freestyle. I've still been dabbling, still been recording. So, I've been more like behind the scenes, I guess you can say. But with the music, definitely, it's definitely goes hand in hand. I think now more than ever, the music is extremely important because of how well it ties into, my martial arts as well, like walking out or having my music play behind posts. So I actually have some really big news. Most likely gonna be announcing it on the Thick Boy fight card.
Are you gonna walk out to your own music?
Definitely.
Nice, nice, man. I like
That's
that.
actually what the surprise was. I wanted to debut
Oh, I
a
really
single, yeah, that I haven't released yet. So that's actually the surprise that I wanted to come out. I mean, I haven't obviously, the secret is what, but definitely want to, yeah, definitely.
yeah, that's
Can you
awesome,
let
man.
us know the name of the song, LJ, so we can like let people know like it's your music when you're
Yeah.
walking out?
The name of the track is going to be called Powers by Ljae Simminz. So that's the name of the single or the debut single that's coming up. It's like a world premiere, I guess you can say, for Fight Night.
Okay, awesome.
Nice, man. That's cool. I have one other question. Your last fight, you
Mhm.
started very, very crazy.
Yes, yeah.
You came out and like just did like I don't know, like a roar scream right in your opponent, and you did get cracked while doing it.
Okay, so
Um,
so there's motives. Right? We do a lot of studying. We do a lot of checking tape and studying our opponents. And for that in particularly, when it comes to this martial art, the reason why I'm so dedicated into this and the reason why I take it so seriously is because even though I do feel like I'm a very talented mixed martial artist, I also have like another side of me. I have like a very dark energy, and that's actually where the name Demon comes from, right? Like that would be, I guess you like it's the same my stage name, if you will. I really do feel like I have something dark inside of me and something that like, when coming to light, can actually do and it's incredible good in terms of the fight aspects or the result of the match, if you will. So we planned that in the beginning. We actually planned to do we wanted high energy at the beginning of the fight because I've seen a lot of his fights and I knew that his cardio wasn't going to be as good as mine. And so what we wanted to do was essentially give like a very high paced sense of energy right at the beginning, and so to kind of like slow him down, which is exactly what ended up happening. Within the last of the first round, and then even going into the second round. So I knew that I would have the advantage. So I wanted a lot of high energy right from the get go, and it looked like it played out into my favor. So more into that, it's just like it's like tapping into like another level of my strength or if you will. And yeah, that's not the end of it. You're definitely going to see it in my upcoming fights. Who knows? Maybe even this one, if necessary. So it's one of those, right? So that's pretty much the gist of it.
cool, man. Cool. And yeah, your style is very it would definitely be hard to train for you because it's very unorthodox and very um yeah, very awkward, I guess would be a good word for it. You do like even like I guess you'll do a 360 jump low kick. You know what I mean? Is that something you just kind of do on the fly, or is that something you're training at in the gym?
Honestly, when I was talking to Cody at the last Thick Boy, he really did put a lot of perspective into my style. He said that, you approach fighting the same way you approach music, like an artist, you're very, very creative. And I think that's an amazing take on it because I do almost look at mixed martial arts exactly the same way. I'm very creative. I just try things that, aren't typically done within martial arts, and then I practice them like day in and day out, right? I practice on sparring partners, I practice on bags, we do pad work. And when it comes to moves like the 360 low kick or the double kick or the super, like it's just all moves that I've actually tirelessly trained, right? That I just decided that, hey, like I want to start doing unorthodox techniques that truly, it's not even about, I don't see them as flashy, I actually just see them more as being unpredictable. And
Mhm.
so like my opponent, like you said, it's incredible, nearly impossible to have a camp or to have a fighter emulate my style in a training camp, right? There's no one on earth who can emulate my style. So I have that advantage coming into every fight that no one has the style that I have. And I prefer the term unique because it's even though, yeah, technically is unorthodox at a mixed martial arts standpoint, it's definitely unique at just an overall standpoint in its entirety. So I think that it's a huge, huge, huge part that it's going to play not only in this fight, but every fight to come.
Can I just get you to tell people why they should come check out this fight?
Oh, for sure. Well, you guys could definitely come check out this fight. One, first of all, because I think it's just gonna be a banger. Like it's gonna be fireworks, right? Like the card is stacked. I like a lot of the card. My coach Caesar's on it as well. Caesar's on it as well. I think BTC holds like some really, really, really dope fights. Like I've been following you guys for a long time. I was supposed to fight for you guys a few times now, but it didn't work out unfortunately. But I'm glad I'm actually getting to do it now. So I'm excited about that. I think that this is going to be a really dope show because there's so many elements. There's so many different styles to it. Me and my opponent were both undefeated. I'm coming off of two back-to-back finishes. You know what I'm saying? He has, tons of, accolades and, accomplishments himself. So I think it's gonna be dope. I love the fact that, we're both kind of going in with this with, we're both having our heads held high. I think that's, overall, besides like the matchup, just, stylistically, I think it's just gonna be a really dope fight. There's gonna be title fights on the line as well. It's gonna just be a really, really, really dope show, and I think that a lot of people are gonna tune in, or a lot of people are gonna want to tune in, because just not only the hype, but just just the so many different mismatch of styles and how they're all gonna lean up to just an amazing event vision. So, and of course, there's gonna be music and there's gonna be so much different things that people definitely gonna wanna aren't gonna wanna miss.
Amazing, man. Jay, you got anything else?
And as well, just looking at your pro career, you've got finishes in the third and second round. Is the goal kind of try to get this fight out of the first round and take Clay into those deeper waters?
I mean, if so, for sure. I'm not worried about my cardio at all. I think that, I do pride myself, for my energy and for my conditioning. But for really and truly, I think deep down, if any type of situation, comes to finish the fight, I'm gonna take it realistically. I'm in there to get the job done, and that's by any means necessary within the ramifications of what I'm allowed to do. So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily like the game plan to just let it go out of the first round. Because truthfully, if I see a finish in the first round, I'm taking it. If I see it in the second round, I'm taking it. If I see it in the third, I'm taking it. I think that's my energy.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, hey, you take an opportunity if you get it. My last question for you, LJ, is obviously you see yourself winning this fight, but what's your path to victory?
That's an amazing question too, because honestly, I don't always look at it as one size fits all. I mean, in my head, I've had like a thousand scenarios to be honest, but like really and truthfully, I think that it can go a multitude of ways. I think that I do have the power to, for a knockout, let alone a TKO. Within my previous fights, I do hit very hard. I think that's always going to be a factor for any of my opponents going in there. But I also do have a very, very, very underrated ground game as well, and I do believe that I have the power to finish via submission if it goes that way. So honestly, it really could. It's a really tough question to answer because I do see a finish going my way, but it really could go any which way that I see it. So we will have to see it. We will have to see. So yeah, I don't want to let too much out the bag.
No, for sure. Obviously, keep some secrets close to the vest with you. But LJ, pleasure to chat with you. Can't wait to see you fight in about a week's time against Clay. I think this is going to be a fantastic fight.
Definitely, man. I agree too. I agree as well, wholeheartedly.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for your time, LJ, and we'll see you in about a week in Niagara Falls.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Right,
Thank you.
thanks,
Awesome.
buddy.
Thanks so much.